One thing I was going to ask you about, Brian, is your relationship with the local judges. I know that you've got a great relationship with many of the judges. I don't know if it's all of them. I'll say all of them. And you've just always had a good relationship with them. How have you been able to develop that over the years?
Yeah, so the Johnson County bench is terrific. It really is. And I would put our judges up against any other county's judges for being very scholarly and for really caring. And the relationships that I've built with the judges, and large regard have been organic just over time, seeing them at different functions. One of our judges, for example, used to be in the same building as me. Before he became a magistrate, he was, just a regular old practicing lawyer, schlub, uh, doing the good fight of solo practice. So, we're in the same building with the guy for a number of years, and you're going to develop a friendship. Um, and just the judges are great. I mean, I don't want to get into, how I'm friends or whatever with them outside of the courtroom. Several of the judges I certainly am. But that's so important, right? To be able to have a relationship with a judge. And I don't do it for any other reason than I like them. But, I'm popping into our circuit court judge, for example. I'll pop into his office every time I'm on the second floor of the courthouse, or most every time, just to say, hey, how are you doing? He asks about my he asks about my wife and family, and I ask about his. And it's important. And I don't think that you don't get a benefit on rulings, and that's not why we do that, right? You do that because we genuinely care about each other, especially in this community. Um, the Johnson County Bar, we just all care about each other so much. But um, it's important, I think, when you're building a practice, to make yourself known to the judges because they can help you. They do have conflict work that they can give in a lot of cases. If there's a public defender who's conflicted out, they need somebody else. Hey, let's throw this young person who's trying to build a practice. Let's throw them some business. Again, we're very fortunate. I'm very fortunate, I think, to be liked by the judges. I hope, but I do. I care deeply for our judges in Johnson County. And I'll say that there's other judges throughout the state that I practiced in front of. I always try to be cordial, right? When you go into a new court, the worst possible thing that you can do is act like you're, a Mr. Know-it-all, right? I try to be very deferential to the local bar when I go into a new court. I'll wait my turn. I'm not there like, hey, I'm so busy, I gotta get out of here. I'm very important. I try to be deferential to the local bar. Those are the people that know and work with that court staff. And I ask a lot of questions of the court staff. And that's another very important issue, by the way. I don't do this for selfish reasons. I do this because I care. But I'm very friendly with court staffs, and that's important because they can help you a lot. And when you can call on a court staff with an issue like, oh, I've got a conflict and I really need to get this bumped, they can help you out with that. And court staff are gatekeepers. Um, so playing nice with court staff, getting to know them, actually caring about them, not being Mr. Fakes a lot, and just I'm going to use a relationship to my benefit. I mean, people see through that crap, so you actually have to care. And if you're trying to befriend court staff for reasons that aren't genuine, I say ladies for the most part. Court staff are ladies. They see. So I genuinely care about the court staff that I work, various court staffs that I work with on a regular basis here in Johnson County. When I go out of county, I try very hard to be kind and deferential to the lawyers, to the court staff, and try to get to know the local